They performed the song again, and again, and again, but it never felt right. It didn't feel like when Alice did it at home with Ismi and Didi. Everyone was doing the moves, and they were all singing perfectly. But each time they performed the song, it felt a little bit emptier. Despite being in a room full of people, Alice felt incredibly alone. Performing such a high-energy dance routine over and over was taking its toll on Alice. One out, she stumbled in the middle of the choreography, colliding with Ismi. But when Alice bounced off her and fell to the ground, Ismi didn't even react. She continued to dance along with everyone else. Alice had to scramble to keep from being kicked or stepped on. Stop! Alice shouted, and they stopped it. They stopped dancing. They stopped moving. Alice sat on the floor, her exhausted breathing sounding loud in the silence. It was several moments before she realized that her breathing was the only sound in the cafeteria. She looked up to see her best friends in the whole world standing perfectly still, their staring eyes dry and open. Their bodies were tense, begging for something. All their eyes were locked on Alice, pleading. Finally, Alice realized what they needed. Do you guys need to blink? Then blink. They all blinked, and their bodies visibly relaxed when they gained their involuntary action back. But it was the only one. That's when Alice noticed a bigger problem. Her friends were starting to turn colors, or one color in particular, blue. Breathe in, Alice commanded. Everyone took a deep breath, and colors started to return to their cheeks. But then Alice realized that she had forgotten to tell them to breathe out. She demonstrated how to inhale and exhale. Keep breathing in and out. Don't stop, she yelled. They did as Alice commanded, but they did it too fast, so they made real monkey noises. On a normal day, if there ever was a normal day in the cafeteria, this would have been very funny, but to Alice, it was terrifying. She took a giant step back. The non-blinking, monkey-hooting crowd took a step forward. She began to panic. No matter where she looked, Alice was faced with children and adults who needed her to tell them what to do. They weren't doing what she said because her ideas were the best. They were doing it because they had nothing else in their empty heads. She wanted to run away, but what would happen to her friends if she wasn't there to tell them to blink or breathe or eat or sleep? The crowd of students and teachers rushed even closer, following her as she had commanded. Her back was against the wall. She had nowhere to go. I don't know what to tell you, Alice shouted, tears in her eyes. I don't want to be in charge. Okay, maybe at first I did, yeah, but I just I just didn't want to be left out. I wanted to be included. I wanted to be heard. We hear you, Alice, the entire school said as one. No, no you don't, Alan said and crumbled it to the ground. You're just doing what I want. That's not the same thing. Alice curled up into a ball. She had always believed that she was the smartest person in the school. Well, she certainly was now, with everyone so mindless. Suddenly, she knew what she had to do. She didn't want to do it, but she had to, or else she'd have to tell everyone what to do for the rest of their lives. Alan stood up and took a deep breath. Everyone, she said, you need to think for yourselves. Use your own judgment. Just because someone tries to tell you what to do, it doesn't mean that their ideas are the best. Alan's watched as their faces started looking limp and mindless as they slowly come back to consciousness. Each child and teacher looked around, unsure why they were all crowded around Alan's. Everyone went back to their tables and lunch counters and classrooms. Jeremiah got out of the garbage can with a very confused look on his face. Alan caught up with Ismi and Didi. Hey, are you two mad at me? Ismi looked confused. For what? I was gonna ask if you were mad at me, Didi said. I didn't realize you'd end up sitting all alone at lunch. I'm sorry. It's okay. Just because we sit with different people sometimes doesn't mean we aren't still friends, Alan said, realizing they had no memory of being mindless. I'm just glad everything is back to normal. So, what do you want to do after school today? I'm open to everything. As Alan's, Ismi, and Didi walked together, Alan saw that Mr. Noodleshungle was still dancing. He went for a flying leap, only to be caught in mid-air by Jetty. She spun him right in a graceful past the deuce, then winged at Alan's before drawing Mr. Noodleshungle, the tentacle monster, and the school mouse in a conga line around the cafetorium.